Every one day you want to earn very well, get an iPhone, right? So just like that, if you see a new technology, for example, how many of you like generative AI? ChatGPT have you used?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you used Gemini? Claude? You have used Claude? Really? Okay, some people have used. So basically, Claude can complete a lot of complex tasks which ChatGPT and Gemini cannot do. So just like these new age technologies will excite you, but number one, for this you need to know the core concepts, the engineering part behind it, and the previous frameworks as well. Once you know that, these new age technologies will be easy to learn and also easy to understand. Directly, if you go and adapt that, I don't suggest doing that, because since the past 5 years in the industry, I've did only one mistake. That is, if something is new, immediately adapt it, put it in the project. So that usually is not at all a good thing to do. So before considering these frameworks for learning, the reason why I'm taking this a bit long is you have to choose very well that which one you take. A lot of, I think you guys organizers who are about to pass out, fourth year people, you are confusing over here, right? Which framework to choose? Which framework to learn? Is it the MERN stack or is the mean? Mean in the sense R gets replaced with Angular, Google likers basically. So this is where you have to be very rational, see which is giving long-term support, which is the most running in the market, and also search for jobs. Search for jobs on LinkedIn, React developer, Angular developer, whichever has the most, go for it. And I'm damn sure that you'll have very less jobs for .NET, but they'll be asking at least 5 to 7 years of experience with a whopping package that will be basically double digit. So that is how it will be. So learning these things in comparison to the long-term stable versions of the existing backend systems will help you guys. So that's one advice that I can give you. I think explain this and then we'll play a game. Okay? No, not after lunch. Right now, because you guys are sleeping. After lunch there is quiz. You guys don't want to play quiz? For this you don't have gifts. For quiz I have small stickers basically from Google. They came all the way from California for you guys, those stickers. So okay guys, the first one is what? Read with me. The first one, what is it? Thoda louder, you are Mallaredi people. Great. So get means what? Getting something, right? Usually mom says, go get 5x from the market. You get only 3. You're like, Mummy, do bhul gaya. I'm sorry. So get means simply getting, right? So if there is something on the internet, what are you doing? Getting it. So just like I told, request, right? So the first one, the get, retrieves data from the server without modifying it, and basically we don't need to send anything from our side. We just need to make a request, it comes off. Clear? Okay, the second one, what is it? Post. Why is it called as post? Why? Because post, ever use just another post? Nobody, right? In Insta post, that is different. So yeah, posting is this very thing. Posting means what? Putting something, right? Miru Instagram lo photo post chestunnaru, right? You guys are putting a post on Instagram. It means you're putting some of your data on the internet, right? Correct. You're posting a tweet. You're posting some data on the internet. So that is called as post. So it means we are sending some data to the backend. Only then it is giving us a response. That is a post call. For example, let's say if I have to get one particular YouTube video, I'm posting the requirement. For example, the Nagarjuna video. Sorry, ANR video. Yeah, that one. In the post, we have something called as a query, right? What is our query? That thing which goes inside that double quotes, okay, which goes inside the search box. So let's say, like I showed you, how to pass exam without studying. This is our query, and we are making a post call. We are sending some data to the internet and grabbing that particular data. So that is post. Now coming to the next one, what is it? Put. So putting something is what we just simply updating. Okay. For example, if we put version 1, what will it get updated to? Version 2. That's it. Simple. So what we are doing is on the existing one. There is one, we are putting two. That's it. Very simple. For example, let's say you open the college, what do we say? Your college website where you have your data. There is a portal, right? When you put your roll number and password, you get all your data, right? The results site, something like that. So, if your initials are wrong, you'll go to the department and tell that here my initials are wrong, correct it. Completely do remove your data, create a new ID, or simply will update the name. That is a put call. There is some existing value, you will simply update it. Simple update, nothing more. So that is a put call. And the next one, somebody gets detained. They have to delete his profile, right? First, for suppose you delete your Instagram accounts after your breakup. No. So there is one of my friend who does that. Every other day he disables his Instagram. Why? I'm sad. Sad होने में disable करने में relation क्या है? What is this? So deleting something from the internet is called as a what call? Exactly. Here, are you what do we say? Updating something? No, simply you're removing it, the existing part. Okay. Now coming to something called as patch. Patchwork. How many of you have seen this meme? Patchwork. Patchwork. So what happens? Chinnadi something it will basically not be there. They'll simply put a patch on that. So how come a put call and a patch call? How they are different? Tell me. How come a put call and a patch call? In even put call you are updating data. Even in patch call you are updating a data. So how come that is different and this is different? How? See there what I've written in put call updates an existing resource with. Now in patch call, what does it say? Partial updates in. Exactly. So basically what happens, let's say I have to like I told, changing the initials, the surname basically. If the surname is wrong, they remove that surname part, add a new surname. It is updating it. We are not deleting the whole profile, right? It is updating it, but one value is getting changed. Now, if simply it is adding a letter, patch. That's it. So that is it. Now, that is what a patch call. To the existing thing, you simply do a patchwork. Okay, that is it. Now coming to, there is head and options. Head, we basically why I mentioned head is because when you're doing Git and GitHub, you get something called as a merge head error. So I'll tell you why is it. So simply, what does it retrieve? Only metadata. That is called as head. And then there is something called as options. Head and options, you use it very rarely. Usually, it won't be required that much, but those calls, get, post, put, delete and patch, they are very, very important. If you are going for any interview, if you are freshers, they'll definitely ask this. Leaking some secrets over here, okay? What is a get call? What does it do? How does it work? They ask this, okay? So what does options do is describes the communication options available. So let's say that I'm doing option simply tells what all options are there. How should the query be, etc, etc. Clear with it, guys? Okay, final look ఇవ్వండి తర్వాత game start చేద్దాం. Nobody should give a wrong answer. Will you give right or wrong? Okay, perfect. So I thought to give you goodies, but you said wrong. I won't. Okay, so slowly one by one we'll. Yeah. Ready? You remember everything? Get, put, post. What they do? I also gave examples. You remember? Okay, done. So people who say no, if you give wrong answers, no goodies for you. Next slide. Okay, this is the first one. Guess which method is that? Back. पीछे जा मेरे भाई, please. Wait a minute, hang on. I thought we can take one by one, but I knew this will take time. So I am asking all the questions at once. We'll go one by one. First one, which method will be used to register a new user? Pakka? Okay, we'll see in the next slide later. Then also guys, how about somebody notes it down what these guys are saying? We'll see if it is right or not. Somebody from the volunteers just note it down, okay? They said the first answer is post. Okay. Update user profile information. Put or patch? Pakka? Okay, I'll consider that as put. Also, you guys are one team now. Okay? Not individual. The quiz will be individual. Okay? So, Then delete a user account. Okay. Fetch a list of products. Fetching a list of products. Pakka? Okay, take that answer as get and then log out from the application. Delete or post? Pakka? Okay, let's take it as delete. Final answer. 50-50 I cannot give. Okay, I'll take both answers, post and delete. Let's see which one is right. Okay, then somebody is noting it down. Okay, cool. So submit feedback or comments. Pakka. Why not update the put? Okay, well let's see. It is post. Yeah. So change user's password. 100%. Okay, take this answer as patch. Retrieve details of a single product. Single product. Sure. Okay, let's see. Take that answer as get. Partially update a product's price. Sure. Okay, now this one is a bit interesting. Check the availability of a username. Check the availability of a username. Option and head are not in this. Check the availability of a username. Instagram users, when you don't find the right username, the right number, right? So, okay. What should I consider it as? Get? Final answer? Pakka? Lock cheyana? Okay, done. Time అయిపోతుంది, lunch time అవుతుంది. You guys are not hungry. You didn't want to play in the first place, right? Okay, so after this game we'll close and we can start hands-on. Looks like you guys are acing this game, so we can go with these API calls in the hands-on. So final answer for the last one. What should I take it? Get or post? Pakka get. Okay, let's. Boys are saying get. Let's hear out the girls. Get or pakka. Let's reveal.
GitHub, basically you open Google Chrome, type GitHub and just open the website and sign in, that's it. VS Code demo, you get it in Microsoft Store on your laptops. Yeah, open VS Code and just install it, that's it. You don't need to sign in or anything in VS Code. If you complete the downloads, we can start it. Yeah, if you don't have laptops on your mobile phones, you can open Chrome on desktop mode. You know that, right? You have 3 dots in the bottom. You can change it to desktop mode or site, and then just type VS Code online. You get it on your phones also then. Do it quickly, okay? We can start as soon as possible.
Already set up. So once you open VS Code, you'll see something like this. Everybody, you can do this. In everyone's screen, is this there? Check. Yeah. So in everyone's screen is something like this coming. You might not see those things like recent, something like that. New file, open file, clone a repository, that will come when you open VS Code. VS Code, at least, did it open? VS Code opened? Yeah? If you are not able to get it from Microsoft Store, you can get it from browsers as well. Okay, let's do one thing. Until then, I'll give you another 5-10 minutes. Who have not set up, they also please set up. Okay? VS Code is only the issue, right? Okay. Okay, 1 minute. How many of you have done with VS Code? Everything's done. Can you raise a hand? People who are done with VS Code. People who can open VS Code. VS Code should open. This kind of screen, something is coming. Okay? People who are done with GitHub, raise hand. GitHub is very simple. GitHub is very simple. It is simply like Instagram login. GitHub is very simple. GitHub is done? Okay. See, GitHub is much easier than VS Code. Okay. Simply in Chrome only you have to log in and sign up. Done? Okay, until you guys set up VS Code, I'll show you a small demo. So we can somehow save time over there. So firstly, I'll show you a small demo online in Chrome itself. You can do that. Meanwhile, I'll try to. Okay, volunteers are there for your help. So I'll try to show the demo. Till then, you guys can carry on setting up VS Code if you have not done. People who have done, it's well and good. If you run a backend code, it gives you JSON data. You remember that? Everybody remembers? So guys, whatever API, whatever backend gives you, firstly you're going to get JSON data. From that, you have to make some UI. So firstly, let's have a basic look. How does this JSON look like? So we'll go to some place called as JSON placeholder. So you can price JSON placeholder. So JSON placeholder API. So this is a open source API. So this is also open source. So if you can see this, I'll zoom it a bit. So if you can see this, if you go to the first link, this is JSON placeholder. On this you can find free APIs, free backend APIs which you can integrate. Clear with everyone? So what we'll do is we'll try to build some UI out of the existing JSON code. So what we'll do is I'll simply try to first I'll go to something called as JSON GUI. So to build the UI, first we should understand how it works, right? How the integration works, at what place what we should integrate, how we should map the values, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to something called as JSON GUI. So this is a Chrome sandbox kind of thing which converts JSON into UI. Can you see, guys? So as you can see, right side there is JSON, there is ID, there is the value of ID, then there is sort as, then there is the value of sort as. So basically it created a, what do we say, text field out of it. So the text field's name is given by the key, and the value of the text field, what you enter, basically like a form, what you enter is given by the value. So we'll try to change it a bit. We'll try to play around with the JSON code as well. So if you guys came till here, just give a thumbs up, okay? Then I'll try to change some things in this. So for this, I'll give you 5 minutes. You can just play around with it. You can play around with it and add some changes. Okay guys, like I told in the morning, you understood what is JSON data? You understand data structures? So basically this is a kind of data structure, okay? Simple, there is a object in which there are multiple, what do we say, sub values. And each value is represented by a unique key. For example, let's say if it is a form, in form what all will be there? Name. And in that name you have to type your name, right? Got it? For example, name, Moin, age something, gender male, like that. Just like in this particular JSON, there is ID and the value is something like SGML. Okay, got it? So JSON data is like this. It's an object. It goes in between curly braces. Everything is a key value pair. Got it, guys? Everything is a key value pair. I won't. I thought to give you much bigger code, but no. I'll keep it short. I'll keep it very generic for you guys so that you understand. So what I'll do is, guys, you are able to access this? Everybody went to this website? Anyone any doubts? If not, the website is JSON GUI. Just type in Chrome, you'll get it. Basically what we are doing, simply from backend we are getting JSON. We are trying to make it beautiful. Okay, got it? Done? Okay. So what I'll do is here, I added this something called as name over here. Here something changed. As you can see here, name got added, and I'll change the value to Moin, M-O-I-N. So as you can see here also the value changed. So this is how we build front end. Got it? Try playing around with it, try changing values. So basically guys, the reason why I'm showing you this is, number one, when you are building any UI, any front end, any nice website, number one, you get JSON from the API. So you have to make sure which value goes where and which value is handled in which type. For example, there can be different values. There can be a string. Yeah, there can be a string. Yes. There can be an array, list of values. For example, we are fetching a big data. Let's say, list of students. Let's say we are fetching a list of students. There can be a list, right? So we need to display that list in that site. So I'll show you how to do it. Okay. First we'll play around with this. Then we'll do it in HTML also. Okay. So what I'll do is here, let me remove some unnecessary code. I'll just take one by one. Okay. First I'll take a string. Then I'll take an integer. Okay, can you help me out with data types? There is string, there is integer, int, and then float, and then character, and then double and float. What is the difference? It's the same. Okay, cool. Yeah. So people at the last, I'll just zoom in it for you. Better? People at the last, better? Can you see? Okay, cool. So here, okay, firstly I've taken string, then I'll take a int, let's say we'll take number. I'll simply add any number, for example 1 2 3 4. Okay, oops, yeah, done. So yeah, as you can see now, this will also get reflected once I add this comma. Yep. I'll remove this one. Okay, done. So there is, as you can see here, it is saying text, number, true or false, nothing. So this we can put it number, and likes, code, I can put it true. So simply if I can change it from here, true or false, it will automatically get set to it. So, or else what I can do is, in data types you guys forgot boolean. This is true or false. Yeah, so as you can see, automatically when I did true or false, so when I wrote true, it got changed to true or false. You guys are understanding? So far, you guys are understanding how JSON is being mapped to the UI? Yes? So now tell me to make this thing, for example, the first line, name, Moin text, which part of the JSON is being used? The first line, name itself. Okay? Understanding, guys? No? Wait a minute, I'll tell you in a bit better fashion. So, okay. How should I tell? Have you ever played this dots game when you were maybe in school or something? There are dots. You have to connect the dots to make a figure. You guys played? So basically, JSON data is just that dots, and your existing website is the complete picture. So these dots will populate the data there. Got it? For example, let's say, that's why I took the example of form. Let's say in a form, you have to enter your name, and that name is coming from the backend. And backend sends what kind of data? Yeah, come on, tell. JSON, yes, you are right. So what we are doing is simply sending some JSON data, and this GUI is automatically making the UI. We are not making the UI over here. Just to understand how the JSON gets mapped to the UI. Okay guys? Cool? You want to do some better coding in VS Code? Yeah. Okay, let's do that as well. Also guys, everyone is ready with VS Code? Yes? Can you give me a thumbs up if you are ready with VS Code? Okay, cool. So what I'll do is, I'll simply open VS Code. In this, what I'll do is, firstly guys, go anywhere in your C file. I'll show you how. Let's say I want it in C. I'll simply create a project. Create a project as in simply I'll create a folder. So as you can see, I have a lot of folders here. Simply I'll right click, create a new folder and call it my first project or something like that. I'll call it front end demo. I'll call it FE demo. Okay. Now what I'll do is, in this I have to create the HTML, all that JS and all the backend related files in this repository. I mean basically in this particular place. So what I'll do is simply, I'll guys do it along with me. I'll go here, okay. I'm keeping it very basic for you, okay. I'll simply drag it and drop it here. Now we are in our project repository, okay. This particular, basically the whole project folder is called as a repository. Done? Clear guys? Everyone's clear? You guys are not understanding? Should I repeat? Yes, no, something? Maybe? Yes? Strong yes? Should I put a movie you want to see? Nice projector is there. Okay, once we complete this project, we'll put, okay? Once we'll complete this, it's a small demo. I've come from a very far place for you guys. You've come from a very hectic class to here. Let's get something, okay? In this, simply create a new file. Before that, I'll create a folder because we are doing a full stack project. So I'll create a folder. Can you see this icon, everyone? Here, did you open? Did you create a folder and dump it in VS Code? Yes? The last step which I told, simply nothing guys, you have to create a folder in wherever place it is easily accessible to you in your laptop. Just create a folder, empty folder, drag and drop that in VS Code. Simply like this. See, I've created something called as FE demo. Now I think you'll be able to see see, there is something called as FE demo. Okay, I've simply created it and dragging and dropping it over here. Can you guys do this? Yeah? Done? Volunteers, can you help them out? Very simple guys, simply create a folder and dump it in VS Code. That's it. So once it's done, what we'll do is we'll create a subfolder in it, but not in the, what do we say, in Windows Explorer or something. We'll create it here. I'll call the first folder front end, okay, and then I'll have another folder. I'll call it back. Got it? So for today, to keep it simple, I'll do the front end only in HTML and try to do some logic on JavaScript if time permits. And for backend, I'll use Python because it will be easy for you guys to understand. If I do it in some other language, you guys might get confused. So what we'll do is, in the backend, I'll create something. Firstly, let's start with the front end. Okay, in front end, okay guys, do you want to create a API in the backend first, or first should we create a front end and pull some data from the existing web? This is better, right? First, we'll create a front end. We'll use an API integration, pull some data from the existing any APIs on the internet. We'll pull some data and see if we can populate it. Then we'll replace this with our own backend. Got it? Okay, so let me tell you one thing. To pull this data from the internet, what call will we use? Okay, you guys are sleepy after lunch? Yeah? Yes? No, you are sleepy since the morning only. Okay guys, so I'll do one thing. I'll keep coding. You guys code along with me. If you have any problem, you can raise your hand, ask a question. Okay? Cool? Alright. Okay, so till here everyone's done. If yes, give me a thumbs up. I'll go ahead. You guys created one folder, which is the master folder kind of thing, which is your project. Yes, created two subfolders, one for front end, one for back end. Everyone's done? Okay, perfect. So in front end, okay guys, remember this one thing. So like in the morning I gave this slab and pillars example, right? It is HTML. So just like that, every single project has a file called as index.html. That basically is the root of your project. If you're creating any front-end project, anything, it might have fancy features, it might have 10 multiple things, it might use 2 different frameworks, but index.html will be your root of the project. Clear guys? Here you guys need any help? It is basic guys, very simple, just create 2 folders, simple. I know you download movies and all, you do much more hacking stuff than I know, but see, in front end what I'll do is simply click this and write index.html. Done. So now my file is created. Meanwhile, what I want you guys to do is in extensions. Can you see this app symbol right below the debug symbol? It is like apps, right? Can you see that everybody? It is there in VS Code. Yeah, click that. It is extensions. From that, I want you to install something called as live server. Live server, this one. If you type live, you will have something called as, I've already installed it, so it's showing uninstall. But once you install this, below you will be seeing something called as go live. Okay, so once we build our website or build our front end, we will use this to deploy it. Okay, cool. So that we can view it in Chrome and see how it looks. So once you are installed, give me a thumbs up, we'll go ahead. Okay, yes, okay, cool. So what I'll do is here, first let's write some basic HTML and see how it looks like. So every HTML project starts from something called as doc type HTML, something like that. So anybody knows how to write that? There is a shortcut for it. Anyone knows the shortcut to write the first lines of an HTML project? Huh? Yeah, so explain, I mean like do it in their laptop so that they'll be able to see. Okay. So the volunteers will help you out if anything is going wrong. Okay guys? It is simply type a exclamation, and once you hit enter, see, automatically it will give you the first a few lines of code, which will be the the very first part of your project. So once you start the project, this is the thing which is running for the first time. Okay, this will be the first line of execution. Got it? Understood guys? Everybody got this? Simply you have to type exclamation and hit enter. That's it, nothing more. No big code. Okay. Okay, cool. So people at the front, you got simple. Very simple. Very simple. So now, guys, so basically these are HTML tags. I hope you are aware of it. This I think is also in your coursework, right? HTML is in your coursework? Yes, for some people yes, some people no. Okay, so basically I'll tell you what happens. this is the title. Title is a title, that's it. We'll keep the title, we'll just simply change the title. I'll keep it MREC workshop. Okay, and then there is something called as body. In the body, what we'll do is we'll try to write some code. Like for suppose, let's say if we have to write a form or we have to build something, buttons and all of that, basically something that goes in a page goes inside a body. Clear, guys? So in the body, what I'll do is simply I'll give a H1. H1 means header. H1. If I type it, automatically this will come, and I'll simply type something. Let's say hello world. Okay. Okay, just till here. It is more than enough. Till here it is fine. So once you save it, what you have to do is at here below, as you can see there, I have code GPT, prettier something. There will be something called as go live. Once you click go live, it will start a live server and your website, tada, as you can see, this is the first look of your website. Because it is HTML, it is coming like that. If you add some styling to it, colors and all, it will look good. So just like that, what we'll do is we'll try to make one function which fetches something from the internet and displays it over here. Cool, guys? Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts? This is very basic. This is very simple basic. This is basically static. We'll try to make it dynamic, okay? We'll fetch something from the internet that will be displayed in the UI. Simple enough, okay? Okay, so how many of you got this? Can you give a thumbs up? Alright, perfect. So, some of you got, some of you, it is pretty simple, guys. No worries. If in your laptop some error is coming up, share it with your friend, okay? So now what we'll do is we'll go back to our this thing, code, and what we'll do is we'll try to add something. So now we are making a fetch function, right? So I'll simply write fetch from the internet or else fetch from the API. Okay. Now below this, what I'll do is I'll create a separate section. So basically to do section in the sense, section again is a different concept. Basically I'll create a separate space to display the data which comes from the API. Okay, guys? So to do that, you use something called as div, div. I do this, I write div, automatically it gives me a div, and once I close this, it automatically completes for me. This is the very good implementation of VS Code, very good application of VS Code, that it auto completes code for you. So here what I'll do is simply I'll give an ID, a unique ID to this div. Here what we are displaying. So let's go back to the API which we saw. It is JSON placeholder. So here we have something called as posts data. So as you can see, you saw this kind of data before, right? What is this data called as? What is this data called as? Yeah, JSON, yes, but JSON what? JSON response. Because we did a request and then we got a response from the API, right? So this is called as JSON response. Done? So what I'll do is I'll try to display this data which is somewhere on the internet. I'll try to fetch it using a request in our UI, because our UI currently is just hello world, and so I'll try to do this. So basically what is this called as? This is called as posts. As you can see here, it says posts. So I'll simply give it an ID, posts. Okay, and in this div, I'll write a small JavaScript function. Okay. Should I start, guys? Cool? Okay. So I'll simply, okay, so one more thing, guys. Do you remember that I told business logic should be written in JavaScript? You remember it? You remember? Okay, so HTML and CSS, all of this is the part of the UI, and JavaScript gives us logic. For example, do this, do that, this function, that function. Got it? So, what we'll do is we'll use JavaScript to write a small script. Okay. So in this, I'll write one small function which fetches data for us. Okay, and then we'll call this function to get that data. Everybody's clear till here? Okay. So, what's the time? It's 3. So I think we are supposed to take the quiz by 4. We have 1 hour. It's good. So guys, do you want to write the script, or should I give you the code? You just want to copy paste it? Which one is better? I can do both. Okay, people who want to just simply copy paste it, give me a cheer. Okay, people who want to write it from scratch, I'll write it, you also write it, give me a cheer. Okay, so I'll write it, no problem. So also, it is very simple. JavaScript is not complicated. Can I get a collar mic or something, because I have to type with 2 hands and speak. Okay, no worries. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it here. You can hear me, right? Okay guys, no worries, no worries. Fine. Okay, so what we have to do is first, remember these things. Number 1, whenever we are doing a request from the internet, we have to ready to face 2 kinds of responses. In the morning we discussed, right? One is a success response, one is a error response, but definitely the response will come, right? So for this, what we'll do is we'll write something called as a try catch block. Okay, what this does is it tries something. It tries fetching the data. If the data is not getting fetched, if there is an error, it will catch an error. Got it? Or else that try will be successful if it runs, if there is no error, and if it smoothly runs. Okay, if it gives us a success response, the try block will run. Simply like a if else. What happens in an if else? If this is satisfied, it will run. It won't go to else now. If the if condition is satisfied. If the if condition fails, then it will go to the else condition, right? Just like that, try catch. Try gives a shot at the API, tries to fetch it. If it fails, it catches, and then in the catch block we'll try to catch whatever error we are getting. Okay, this size is fine. Do you want me to zoom a bit more? This is fine, guys? Cool. At the last. Okay. So, okay guys, I'll just put the mic down for 2 minutes. I'll type something. You guys type along with me. Then I'll explain the line of code, okay? Because I cannot like hold this and type with one hand. It will be a bit slow. So basically, I'll tell you what is it. So why we take a asynchronous async means asynchronous, and why we take a asynchronous function is because now once we run this function, fetch some data, it is not going to be coming right now. It can come 1 second later, 2 seconds later, some milliseconds later. So this will be in the future, right? So we cannot make it synchronous. We have to make it asynchronous. Understood? It cannot be immediate. So what we tell is that this function can take time to execute, so that our code understands. Okay, this function might not be executing immediately. It will take some time. Take some time as in until the API gives us the response. And how much it will be? 10 milliseconds. That's it. So for that we give it a asynchronous function. So minutes, I'm just zooming it out because these things are causing a lot of problems. Those suggestions. Okay, so now came our try-catch block. Inside our try-catch block, we'll write the API code. Okay, basically which will fetch. So I'll take a constant. Okay, I'll take a constant first. Then this will be called as response. Okay, we'll save the response in this variable. You guys know how to assign variables, right? Right? Yeah. So we'll take a variable. Also, guys, if whenever we are using async, we have to use something called as await, because we need to tell our code basically which part of the function will execute late, or else which might react, which might take some time to react. Okay, so we just have to put await. Okay, we put an await and then we call the fetch function. And now tell me, what are we fetching? We are fetching something from the JSON placeholder API, right? So what I'll do is, I'll here take a string, go to JSON placeholder API, simply copy this. Okay, I'll copy the URL and I'll paste it here. So basically from this URL, we are getting some data which is on the internet and showing it in our website. So now, when we take this response, we get a JSON response, right? So what we'll do is we'll hold it in some other variable so that we can again fine tune it from JSON to something else. So I'll take another constant, I'll call it posts, because we are fetching posts. I can also call it data, but won't make sense. This is better naming convention, as you can say. So again, another await. Then I'll take response dot JSON, because it's JSON data. So, and whatever comes in response, I'm just holding it in something called as posts. Till here it is clear? Now what we have to do is simply this posts, we have to display it in the HTML UI. Clear, guys? Okay. So meanwhile, I'll leave the catch block empty for now, because definitely we won't get any error. So what I'll do is, I'll make something called as a posts container, because there are, let's say, 1,000 posts. One post should be only in one, let's say, box. Okay, only at one place. So like that, multiple boxes should generate, and in that one post should come, right? So once again, we'll go back to the JSON. See, this particular thing is one post, like earlier we saw in that. This is a list. Can you see, guys? This is a list. 1, 2, 3. Also, as you can see, there is ID, right? ID 4, 5. Just like that, there are lots of posts. So we'll capture all of this data and we'll store it in something called as posts. Okay. So now what we'll do is, here we'll create something called as a posts container, another constant, and we'll create something called as a posts container. So now, guys, tell me one thing. In this post container, we should display text value or JSON value? Text value, right? User won't like reading JSON. Basically, it is raw data. So what we'll do is, I'll tell you. So in post container, we'll simply write something called as document. Okay. So basically, what does this document do? Anybody knows? Volunteers? What does this variable do? Document. Okay, first we'll complete this, then I'll in detail discuss. So now what I'll do is, I'll span, basically I'll ask this function to create one section, this is not just section, one particular space every time a post is fetched. Okay, guys? Clear? Every time a post is fetched, one space, and in that one space, this post will get populated. Got it? It is like, let's say 1,000 people are coming, we have to put 1,000 chairs, so that those 1,000 people can sit in each chair. Understood? Okay. So what we'll do is, in this we'll create a div. Cool. So yeah, semicolon. I think here also I need to put a semicolon. Okay. So three basic things. We fetched the response, it was in JSON, we held it in something called as post container, and then we are creating some space for the value to populate. Now how will the value populate in it? Because if you can see the JSON, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 total elements. One is the user ID, one is ID, then there is title, then there is body. So how will this get populated in our UI? So I'll show you how. We'll simply try to use a for loop. Okay, how many of you know how to use a for loop? Okay, so I'll also tell you what that is and how it works. So for now, till here I think it is fine. We'll first try to fetch the data, see if that data is getting fetched, then create the UI. Or else let me create the UI, and then we'll put a debug point at the data, stop our code over there, see if it is fetching the data or not. Okay guys? Okay guys, so we are done with our for loop. Now what we did is simply we took posts. Posts is a list of elements or a single element? Guys, list of element or single element? Come on, some response. Posts. The name itself is plural, so list of elements, right? Okay, hang on. You want to play the quiz? Yes? Morning session you heard very well? Pakka? Okay, so just because you guys are getting bored, we'll play the quiz and then we'll do this. Fine? Sure? I need a strong yes. Okay, done. So let's not waste time. These guys are getting bored. Let's play the quiz first, okay? So I'd like to call my colleague. So she's gonna take the quiz for today. And let's see guys, this will be fun, very fun. So we've got okay, let's not show you guys the questions yet. Okay, cool. So I'm handing over for the quiz. Guys, this will be like fastest finger first. Even if you answer it right, you have to answer it fast, okay? Got it? Shall we start? Get ready with your phones.
Okay, so first question is, what command initializes a new Git repository? Is it git push, git pull, git clone, or git init? The answer is git init.
Okay, next question. Okay, correct one.
The answer is git init. So the next question is, what command commits staged changes? Is it git status or commit, add or reset? Okay, 46% commit. And the next is add. Yeah, that's the answer. Third question. What command checks the current status of the repository? Git branch, log, status and commit. the answer. The next one. What command creates a new branch? It's git branch, checkout, merge, or init. Okay, that's a lot of majority for git branch. Let's check. So us is on top. Who is us? Okay. On to the next one. What command combines changes from one branch to another? Checkout, merge, branch, and pull. Okay. Seems like a lot of people are getting the answers right. It's merge. On to the next question. Okay, the leaderboard changed. Divyashree is on top now. Next one, what command pulls changes from GitHub to the local repo? Push, pull, merge, commit. No guys, you should not tell like this. Come on. %3% merge. Brilliant. The leaderboard is still the same, kind of. Who's that person? What command undoes the last commit without deleting changes? Branch, push, reset, and pull. Okay. 74% for reset. What command creates a tag in Git? Git status, reset, tag, and push. Good one. 2% for reset. There are like 2%, 3% people. I don't know who are these. Okay. What command renames a branch? Branch minus. I didn't give a clue, guys, but still 3% merge. Brilliant. And this is the last question. What command deletes a branch locally? No hints this time. Okay. Very obvious. Leading from the past 5-6 questions. Who's that? Okay, cool. So the top 5 people will be getting the goodies at the end of the session. So these are the top 5 people. So good job, guys. Okay, come over. Okay, so the first is Divyashree, and second is Varshita, third is Hemant. Popular, okay. Fourth is Sneha, 5 is Kittu. Okay. We'll resume the last part of the hands-on. And these people, good job.
Check. Yeah. Okay, guys. So quickly, one by one, we'll finish it up. I won't waste your time anymore. So here you go. Firstly, in the for loop, what we do is, let's say there are 10 elements in the list. we iterate it one by one, okay? So one by one, every post which is getting fetched from the backend, what happens is, it gets firstly added to the list, then generated in the UI. So want to see how this works? Okay, so I'll simply hit live server over here. I'll do Control S. So, oh, it's already running. I'll dispose the running one and I'll start a live server again. Okay, so now the live server is running. Now you can see this somewhere in Chrome. So, here you go. This is the data that we fetched. So as you can see here, it is running on our server. I'll zoom it and I'll show you. Okay, this is not getting zoomed. Okay, so thanks for the idea, magnifier, and I don't know how to. Okay, guys. Anyways, so the catch is, here you go. Yeah. So now, as you can see, this is running on port 5500, which means it is running locally on this particular port. Now, when we deploy it, you can deploy it on a website. Got it, guys? Understood how we'll fetch something from the internet? I also have backend code. You want to show? You want me to show? Okay, let's do one thing. Keeping in mind the time constraint, I'll give you backend code for homework. I'll share what to do and how to do with the organizers. Please share it with them in the groups. So you'll run backend code, right? Yes? Any problem with Git commands? Ah, you did good in quiz, I saw. You did really good. So I think we are running out of time. Can we conclude it? Any doubts, guys? Okay, I'll stay here for another 10-15 minutes. If you have any questions, you can come up and then we can conclude. Okay? Alright, so that's it, I think. Thank you so much for organizing this. Yes, it was a bit boring for you guys, but I think the morning session you enjoyed. Code you guys were sleeping at, but I'll come to MREC again. Let's do a bit of better implementation next time. Thank you so much for having us, to the whole organizing team and to the management. Thank you so much for having me, sir. Thank you so much, guys.